Now, not far from Bhuj lies the Thar Desert. On one level, scorching hot, uncomfortably cold, inhospitable. But for the intrepid traveler, this magnificent desert can translate into a holiday experience straight out of the Arabian Nights. Seriously. You have the sun, you have the sand, at nights you shelter under a star-studded sky. So, where's the catch? Well, for one thing, you can only traverse the Thar on camel back.
For a price, they'll offer you the earth, wine, song, and anything else you may have in mind under the desert sky. A good deal involves a lot of haggling in Jaisalmer. Camels, blankets, and simple meals cost about 150 rupees per person per day. If you want the frills, you'll have to dish out more of the green stuff. From Jaisalmer, it's an hour's drive by jeep to Khuri, where I am to meet Tanay Singh, who's organized a 2-day camel safari for me. If you ever decide to do this, remember that the best time is between October and March. A camel safari can last for anything up to 15 days, depending on your inclination.
Welcome.
Tanay Singh runs Khuri's only proper hotel. It's more of a rest house than anything else, but it has an authentic village feel. Many foreigners stay here for several days, only to soak in the rural ambience.
People, they eat in Mama guest house, inside house. Okay. So we have there in family style, traditional style, we give them food. Okay, tomorrow I arrange your folk music with the trekking.
Well, our camels have finally arrived. They say they're temperamental and moody creatures. I hope I get one that's easygoing. Let's see now. I've got everything I need. Sunblock lotion, sunproof factor 45 at least for the desert sun, a hat, and plenty of drinking water. Accompanying me on my expedition are 3 camel drivers, or Raikas as they are called, who speak a smattering of English, and Aziz, a local doctor. He loves camping in the wild, but like me, this is his first time on a camel as well. They tell you it's as easy as riding a horse. All you have to do is lean forward as the camel gets up and backwards when he sits down. Pull these reins when you want to stop and turn the camel to the left by pulling this rein and to the right by pulling this one. But that's all in theory. Unless you're a pro, you'll find it isn't that easy. Your prowess has little to do with it. It's just that the camel lets you feel you're the boss. The desert landscape is quite unlike what books would have you believe. You strain your eyes to see sand dunes, and all you chance upon is scrub vegetation, wild grass, and the occasional tree. The dunes your imagination associates with the desert are few and far between. Here are a few tips while riding a camel. If you start feeling really uncomfortable, just swing your leg over like this. It's a lot easier on your legs. Secondly, don't grip the camel with your knees. Just lay back and let him do all the work. He knows what to do. It's a little over an hour into the safari and my enthusiasm has waned a little. My backside hurts, my legs are stiff, and my shoulders are throbbing. They say you get used to it. It better be right, considering I've got miles to go before I eat. To get my mind off my body, I let my imagination soar and run 180 million years back in time. You may not believe this, but Rajasthan was once part of the Arabian Sea. Millions of years ago, the sea made way for thick forests, which gradually dried up. And then the desert took over. The Arkal Fossil Park, an eerie, desolate place, is a microcosm of that great geological transition. It's pretty close to Jaisalmer, and I dropped in there before meeting my camel. Tourists hardly ever come here, but if you do, you'll find fossilized remains of trees over 100 million years old. Today you can see but not touch these crumbling relics of a bygone era. We've been at this for hours, and yet I'm told we've traveled less than 20 kilometers. Mercifully, our camel drivers have called a break for lunch. We're a stone's throw away from the rather nondescript entrance of the Desert National Park. It's home to a large number of bird and animal species. In the short time that we were there, all we managed to see were a few chinkaras and the great Indian bustard. This endangered bird is protected by law. It can fly, but it prefers walking around. By the way, my camel's name is Lal, and even though he may look like an endearing, absent-minded sort of fellow, I've discovered that no matter how hard I try, he's still going to go when he wants, stop when he wants, and eat when he wants. He's got quite a mind of his own. On learning that he is not as docile as he looks, and that he kicks and bites quite viciously when annoyed, I have developed a healthy respect for him. It's 4 o'clock and time for tea at a village that is en route. Despite the ecological adversities they have to contend with, Rajasthanis are a sturdy lot. Their bright turbans and clothes seem to offset the drudgery of their daily routine that involves long treks to get water. This doesn't take away, however, from the cheerfulness of the rural folk and their belief in their destiny. Evenings in the desert are something else. It can become quite chilly as the evening progresses, but as you see the sun dipping beyond the horizon, you'll soak in the sight and forget the cold. On the dunes, the cosmos seems to begin below you and envelops you in a way I've never experienced before. It's not as if you're looking up at the sky, it's like you're a part of it. My reverie was interrupted by a group of local musicians whom Tane Singh had sent to entertain us. My back was killing me, but the musicians seemed so enthusiastic that my aches and pains were soon forgotten. They're good company, sing only as rustic folk can, and tell incredible stories. Rajasthan's most endearing ballad is the tale of a beautiful princess Moomal, a secret lover, Prince Mahendra, and a camel that made their clandestine trysts possible. They say that Mahendra travelled 150 kilometers every night to meet Moomal. One day, his visit ceased, and a heartbroken Moomal travelled to Amarkot in Sindh to seek her beloved, only to die of fatigue and a broken heart at the gates of his fort. Well, I don't know how much of all this to believe, but this is just what makes Rajasthan so fascinating. Myth, verging on history, fact upon fiction, and the need to reduce it all into a good story. Mornings here are pleasant. As the day progresses, it gets hotter and hotter. Remember to bury all biodegradable waste and carry the rest away with you. You may also need to dig a pit for your ablutions. The camels don't bother. It's day 2 of our journey, and already my back feels a lot better. I think all I needed was a good night's sleep under the stars. In fact, I actually find myself looking forward to the next leg of our journey. We've spotted a water hole at a distance, and it's time to get Lal tanked up. After all, I wouldn't want to spoil his mood, and we do have a long way to go. As you approach Kuldara, you'll feel you're playing a part in an old western. It's pretty eerie because you have a village with not a soul in it. Crumbling ruins confront you. History tells us that this was once a prosperous village where the Paliwal Brahmins lived. Some say increased taxation prompted them to leave. Others say it was fear of death at the hands of an unfriendly king. They say the wealthy Paliwals left in such a hurry that they left all their gold and silver behind. Of course, I'm not taking this story seriously, but maybe just one coin? Find anything?
You know, the only downside of visiting some place as magical as the wild Indian West is that once you get back, in about 3 days, you start getting reabsorbed into the hurly-burly of daily life. Hey, but don't worry. We'll be back next week when the Great Escape engines will be revving up yet again to hit the road. So till then, goodbye.